I wanted to show you a quick walkthrough of how to navigate the class in Blackboard. So when you log on to Blackboard and you click on the link for FAM 151, this is the home page that you'll come to, the week-by-week classes. So basically, this is going to go through each week, and it's going to tell you everything that we're doing for the week and what's due. And let me see, I'll show you a few examples of what's going to be on here. So this first week, you're just going to be reading through the syllabus and watching these videos, and then you're going to be posting your introduction on the discussion board. So not a whole lot this week. Then, so for week 2, you're going to be reading chapter 1 and watching a video lecture. You're going to be turning in your grade communications form, and you have to get your syllabus quiz done. So here's where you will download the grade communications form, and then you'll save that, fill everything out and save it, and then this is where you'll turn it in. After it's all filled out, you'll click here, and then you'll attach your file with your filled out form, and then you'll click submit. Okay, so then for the syllabus quiz, you're going to take it over here. So where you see this, it says take the syllabus quiz. You just have to click on it over here. And then each week we will have a little lecture, which you can click on here, where I'll go through the textbook chapter that we're studying and kind of explain some concepts and go through some things, giving examples and explaining things. So I wanted to show you, you won't be able to see these just yet. They're going to come up. You'll see these pop up as we go through the semester, but I can show you on here. Sometimes you'll have supplemental materials. So this is a video about attachment style. So you just need to click here and watch that video. So you will be responsible for knowing some of the information that's on here. There'll be maybe some discussion questions about it, and one of them has a class activity associated with it. So make sure you're looking at these supplemental materials. And then I'm always going to remind you about your due dates on this. So every time you check into the class, just figure out what week we're on, and then it'll tell you exactly what's due. So that will help you in remembering due dates, because it's all written out right here what you need to do for the whole week. So here's your class activity number 1, and it tells you the due date. Okay, so you've already been to this page because you're watching this, but here's where the videos are and some information about me. And then you'll click here to find your syllabus. You'll just click here and it'll download a document. It's pretty long, so I would just recommend reading through it carefully, and then the parts that you need to remember, like to refer back to, like the late work policy or the calendar where all the due dates are listed, to kind of save those in a separate location that's easier to refer back to, because some of it's kind of long and detailed, and you can kind of get bogged down in it. But the parts that are most important, kind of pull those out so that you can refer back to them. This is where you'll take your syllabus quiz. So this needs to be by the end of week 2. So you'll just click here to get started. So just make sure you're ready and before you click begin, because you can only take it one time. And you can use your syllabus while you're taking this. And this one's not timed. It's only 10 questions. It's pretty easy, just to make sure you understand the class policies. Here is where the discussion board is. So you'll click here. This first one, called Coffee Shop, is just kind of our general classroom questions. Anything that you have that you're wondering about, maybe that applies to the whole class. So if it's a question about an assignment or a concept in the textbook or something like that, you can click here. And then you'll need to create a thread, write a subject, and then you type whatever you want to say down here in this box, and then you just click submit. So that is the one for the coffee shop. And then you'll find each of the other discussion boards as you go down. So again, like the weeks, these ones down here aren't available to you just yet, but they will be as we get further into the semester. So here's the one for the introductions. That's the one you're going to be doing in this first week to introduce yourself to the class. So it's going to be the same thing. You'll just click create thread. Okay, so next is the class activities. So on this, here's with all the instructions of exactly how I'm going to be grading it, how many points are each thing, when it's due, there's the due date. Just make sure you read these carefully so you know what I'm looking for. And then right below each one of these descriptions is going to be the drop box of where you turn it in. So you'll click here to turn in class activity 1. So you'll type your name and the title, class activity 1, and you'll choose your file from wherever it is and you'll click upload. So this is where you'll get your that Turnitin originality report that I was talking about in the other video. So all the class activities are here. You just have to scroll down to get to, the next one. So make sure you're scrolling down on those. Here's where you'll take your test. These are not available yet. You won't be able to see them. Don't worry. They're only going to be available for a couple of days. So not available right now. But when you're ready, you just click on that and then make sure you're ready to start before you click begin. You can only take it one time and you only have 2 hours. So once you start, your 2-hour timer starts going. So if you need to pause for some reason and go do something else and come back to it later, your timer is going to keep going. So you only have 2 hours total. So I would recommend to not stop and go do something else and then come back to it because you're going to be using up your time. So try, get it done in one sitting. Because if you need to take a break, then you're using up your time. And there's all the tests down there. Here's the information on the book review and the movie analysis. This is a list of instructions. Here's where you'll find the actual list of the books that I'm going to be letting you choose from, and then the rubric of how I'm going to be grading. So all this document here, you'll click here, and then it takes you to a new window where you download right there. So make sure before you turn in these assignments that you are really reading these documents very carefully because this will help you a lot in knowing exactly what you need to write and what I'm looking for. And then again, here's the little box of where you're going to turn it in. Same as the one I showed you before. So pretty easy. And then same thing for the movie analysis. You'll download the file here and then you'll turn it in down here. This file here is APA help. All the assignments need to be written in APA format, which is basically this list of kind of specific rules for how you will cite your sources and how you'll set up your paper as far as formatting and things like that. So if you download this file, I will explain how that works. I'll give you a link to a website that is very helpful in APA formatting. So just make sure you're reading through this. If you're not familiar with APA, there's certain things that you have to do when you're writing your paper and citing your sources, things like how you set up your reference section and things like that. So make sure to read this before you start doing your written assignments. And then you'll click here for your grades. You'll just click on that and it'll take you to your grade book. And then this is for the Blackboard IM. This is where I will be during office hours. So it opens up this new thing and you can message me back and forth. So that's how to do Blackboard IM. If you go there and I am not there during office hours, then it is probably because I'm unavailable at that time. So if that happens, just go ahead and send me an email and ask for an appointment or just ask me your question over the email or something like that. So that is it for the Blackboard walkthrough. Hopefully that explains how to turn in assignments and everything like that. But as always, if you have questions, just let me know.